going to be talking about the brain. It's time to talk about the brain function!
Now let's talk about the brainstem. The brainstem is the part of the brain where our three major sections are located: the hindbrain, midbrain, and the forebrain. The brainstem and its shape is what helps keep parts of our brain aligned. It assists our body with reflex activities such as respiration and heartbeat to keep us alive. The next clip you are about to see is going to show you the importance of our brainstem.
I'm so thankful for my brainstem. I have a heartbeat. And I can breathe!
The medulla is a part of the hindbrain located at the lower part of the brainstem, or the back of your neck. It carries out vital life functions such as breathing and the heartbeat. It is essential for our survival. If you were to, say, be shot directly in the medulla, you would most likely die on impact, which is what occurred to the assassinated President John F. Kennedy and our friend Anna here.
Hey Anna! Pew! Ow! Come with me, guys!
What you say?
So, unfortunately, Anna has been shot right in the medulla, and it's vital for basic life functions. So basically, she died instantly.
Yay! Now for the pons. The pons is another important brain structure located in the hindbrain directly above the medulla. It connects the upper and lower parts of the brain, relaying and transmitting messages between parts. The pons is also helpful for our sleep and ability to dream. Wow, thanks to my pons, I get to enjoy a good night's sleep. The cerebellum is the last part to be found in the hindbrain. It controls fine muscle movement, balance, coordination, and cognition and perception. If you've ever heard people talk about how their vision is blurry, or they can't answer simple questions, or they can't walk a straight line when they're drunk, it's because this is the first part to be affected by alcohol.
I believe you're drunk driving! Walk this line! I wonder what she was drinking. Dang, her cerebellum must have been really affected by that alcohol.
Let's talk about the reticular formation, where a bunch of neurons together control incoming information and arousal. It is located in the core between the hindbrain, midbrain, and brainstem. The reticular formation is triggered when it's needed for attention. Without it, you wouldn't even be aware or conscious.
Triggered. Wow, my reticular formation sure woke me up.
Now let's start an analysis on the thalamus. The thalamus is a structure located above the brainstem, just between the cerebral cortex and midbrain. Its job is to carry sensory messages from the nervous system to the cerebral cortex and other parts of the brain. Hey, it's not that complex. Now, let's think of it as a boss directing its employees. The thalamus acts as a boss as it directs your five senses, aka sensory messages. These would include touching, hearing, seeing, tasting, and smelling. Now, in the next clip, you'll see why I was able to taste the buttery popcorn.
Oh, hey guys, I was just enjoying my popcorn. Tastes pretty good thanks to my thalamus.
Now, I hope you're all ready to learn about the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a structure located just below the thalamus, so don't get them confused. Its job is to control our emotions and drives. It's also why we know when we are thirsty and hungry. Furthermore, it helps our body stay at a steady temperature. Have you ever heard of the term hangry, hungry, and angry? Well, you might have your hypothalamus to thank for that.
Let's go, Christine.
Why is Christine so angry?
And why is Anna so happy? Must be her hypothalamus.
Are you easily scared or easily aggressive? Well, don't sweat it. You can't help that your amygdala is just that way. The amygdala is part of the limbic system in your brain, which is generally responsible for emotions, drives, and memory. However, the amygdala is well known for its production and regulation of aggression and fear.
Ah! Whoa, I'm so scared of spiders, but it's a good thing I have my amygdala, otherwise it could have bitten me.
The cerebral cortex is the thin outer layer of the cerebral hemisphere. You know, the part that looks like noodles. The cerebral cortex consists of the 4 lobes, but we'll talk about that later. It is made up of 30 million neurons. It controls our complex behaviors and high mental processes, such as our sensations and motor controls. If we didn't have the cerebral cortex, we would be totally unaware of our surroundings and ourselves. So hey, thank your cerebral cortex sometime.
Hey guys, me and my KEACT team, we're doing ASMR sounds which triggers the cerebral cortex, which controls our complex behaviors such as our sensations.
Hey guys, so today we're doing an ASMR video. I hope you like it.
The tingly sensations.
One of the most difficult to understand, yet interesting parts of the brain would be the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is a thick ribbon-like band of nerve fibers under the cortex that connects the 2 hemispheres of your brain so that they're able to work together. Many scientists would argue that you do not need your corpus callosum, however without it, the 2 hemispheres of your brain would not be able to work together in order to complete tasks. Patients who received split brain surgery in which their corpus callosum was severed were able to point to a photo of a fork with their left hand as it was flashed in their left visual field. However, they were not physically able to say it was a fork because their Broca's area is only in their left hemisphere. However, their right hemisphere of the brain was working independently from the other. Cool, isn't it?
Anna, sweetheart, what is this?
Oh my god, I know what it is, but I can't say it. This is so annoying. Like, I know that it's that, but I can't say the name for that. Ugh!
Point to the fork.
Although you may not necessarily associate the brain and the spinal cord together, they both definitely work together in the central nervous system to direct mental and basic life processes to keep us alive. The spinal cord sends information to and from the brain and the PNS and controls our reflexes. Have you ever touched something really hot and pulled away right away? Well, that would be thanks to your spinal cord. If you didn't have your spinal cord, your hand would stay on the hot surface, which would further damage your body. You wouldn't want that now, would you?
Ow! If I did not have my spinal cord, I would not have pulled my hand back. Therefore, I could have burnt my hand really badly.
The left hemisphere, or the blue on this side, controls the right of your body. It includes your arm, hand, foot, and etc. The Broca's area is only located on the left side, which controls your speech.
Hey Tina, I'll take over from here.
What?
Hi mate, Snail be filling in for Tina. She was feeling, let's say, a bit under the weather. So let's continue on with the left hemisphere. Alright, so another part that is only located on the left hemisphere is the larynx area, which controls language comprehension. Now, the left brain is often known as the logical side, containing components of analytical thought, reasoning, mathematical problem solving, and that's the left brain.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, peck of pickled pepper, Peter Piper picked it, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where's a peck of pickled pepper, Peter Piper picked?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Wow, thanks, Broca's area.
Oh my god, Emily, what are you doing?
Oh hey, I'm just doing the math we learned earlier. Oh yeah, and here's the answer.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so left brain.
Okay. Sorry, can you say that again?
I said, dude, isn't the brain interesting?
Thanks to my larynx area, I could understand her.
So now let's move on to the right hemisphere. The right hemisphere is connected to the corpus callosum and controls the left side of your body. The right brain is responsible for creativity and artistic abilities.
hemisphere of my brain, I'm able to move the left side of my body.
She is so right-brained. I wish I could be that right-brained. You're so talented, Anna. You're totally right-brained. You're using your right brain. You're so talented. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Alright, let's get right into our frontal lobe, located right in the front. You know, frontal lobe. Now, it's responsible for carrying out your higher mental processes, such as thinking, decision-making, and planning. Now, this sounds pretty familiar, because you use it every day. Now, for example, I used it to decide what I ate this morning.
Moving on to the parietal lobe, it is located on the upper cortex towards the back. It processes sensory information related to taste, temperature, and touch. And because of this, it has to process information very quickly. If you didn't have a parietal lobe, you couldn't feel any touch. I sure felt that. Thanks, parietal lobe.
Next, we have the occipital lobe, which is located at the bottom of our cortex. Its job is to process information and help our eyes understand what we see. So the process must happen really quickly. Have you ever thought about how you're able to see what you're seeing right now? Thank your occipital lobes.
Lastly, here's the temporal lobe. It is located at the middle part of your cortex, or right above your ear. It is responsible for processing auditory information, aka your hearing. It receives sensory information such as comprehends sounds and understands speech. Being able to hear me is only possible because of your temporal lobe.
Hey! Thanks for watching. We hope you learned more about the brain.
Tune in to our next episode,
Where we'll be talking about the nervous system. We love our fans.
Yeah.
Get the microphone, get the
I think I
microphone.
remember it.
Get the microphone.
No, yeah, I'll start off with the brain stem. It's the vital part. We got forebrain, we got hindbrain, and the midbrain here to start. As you see, the three major sections are divided into three, and that's all I have.